Hello, hello. Welcome to Born Offside for another week. Buzzing because we've got Kat here on the couch. We've also got returning from injury with a cast on his Achilles. OLANTEKKERS stitched up. Surgery went well?
Yeah, it went pretty well. I'm here for the comeback season, you know.
Is there a comeback season in the works?
Yeah,
Are we going to see OLANTEKKERS back out on football
Actually,
pitch?
I don't know. My surgeon told me I might never play again.
Really?
Did they?
That's what he said, but I don't know. I mean,
They always say that, though.
they do.
Because they don't want to be responsible
Exactly.
if you throw yourself back in and something
Exactly.
happens again.
Exactly.
Yeah, so with my one, I don't know if people know about Achilles surgeries or not, but basically there's this Achilles surgery that you have like a couple weeks after you do it. So that one is when they take both the tendons,
Put 'em back.
stitch
Like
it together,
stitch it
together, right? But because I didn't know that I did it, I was fucking walking around for
Right.
like 2 months.
Yeah.
My one was like a chronic one, so they had to like take the tendon from my foot
Okay.
and then attach it to
Oh my gosh.
my
Right. So it's a bit
leg.
Of a, okay.
So it's a apparently that one's better anyway because it has less chance of it actually like snapping again or whatever.
right.
But yeah, that's the surgery.
And you said you went and looked up what the surgery looks like on YouTube.
Yeah, I
which is
did.
something I think not everyone
I feel like anyone
would
that
do.
has surgery, like you
You're
should.
curious.
You're just curious. I'm like, what are they
100%.
actually doing to my foot while I'm? Because I was knocked out for like 4 hours.
Yeah.
Because basically they gave me anesthesia. They knocked me out, and then there was like a critical case that came in.
Oh, shit.
So I was just KO'd for like 3 hours.
They just left you there.
Yeah. Oh, you got someone that's gonna die out coming. This guy, and then put me back on the table.
I'm
Jeez.
sorry, but the thought of you laying
Yeah, I
there
was
like
just laying there. They were like, I think they put me on my side. I'm pretty sure.
Mm.
But yeah, it's a weird feeling being like knocked out. You
out
guys
like
have
that.
had surgery
We've
before.
both had
It's
it.
just weird.
Claudes is bionic.
Yeah, yeah. Go.
You've
Have
got
you
metal
ever-
in you.
Have
So
you
when
ever
you go
talked
through
about
the-
your surgery?
Huh?
Have you ever talked about your surgery on
We need
Offside?
a whole nother pod for it.
We do.
We need a whole
It's
nother
so
pod for it.
it's low key fascinating.
Yeah,
like I know you
bionic
obviously had
man.
to go through it, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, as long as it's fascinating for you.
Yeah.
No, it was. Yeah, it is quite a fascinating story. We'll save that for another time. Now,
Yeah.
let's talk a little bit of footy. We've got a few questions that have come through before. You got your surgery.
Yeah.
Now, people, I've got it written here that you got another visa. What do you mean you got another visa?
Oh yeah, I did. I'm actually my visa got extended for another year. So
Oh, so there was a chance of that not happening.
no
No one told me about the pod.
If I'm deported, I'm deported. You know what I mean? Like, I
He'll be
ain't
live
gotta-
streaming
I'm
at
not
that
telling
point.
everyone my business, but no,
Yeah.
not that. I mean, there was, even if I didn't get the one that I currently
You
got,
would've
I
been
could have got like another student visa or
Yeah,
something. But
okay,
I want,
right.
but it was just, my visa was coming to an end, so I got.
Fantastic. So you got another year.
I got another year. Yeah.
Right. So
And then
on a
after that, I'll
1 year
just marry my missus and I'll be alright.
There you go. You'll be
Great.
fine. Oh, there you
That's
go.
all
You
sorted.
spoiled the surprise. Start buying rings. Newey Jets football asked Olan about the Eels on Friday. I guess we'll keep that one short. They started shit, haven't they?
I wouldn't say we started shit. I
Medium.
just feel like
Was it
with-
two losses? Is
it
it?
is 2 losses, but it's 2 losses that could have been.
Yeah.
They've been close. They've been playing well.
Okay.
Just been unlucky, or just certain things, certain mistakes and stuff like that. So it's positive, but it's 2 losses. Do you know what I
Right.
mean? But I think we'll be all right.
Well, the footy seasons are at that side. The AFL kicks off this week, I'm pretty sure, if my calculations are correct. You're announcing an AFL team, I believe.
I am
so,
announcing an AFL team, so
that's
look
great.
out for that one.
Big news. Big news. Who is OLANTEKKERS going to pick? I don't even know, to be fair. I'm excited to see it. Let's talk some local football, shall we? We're going to start in the men's game. Cat. This guy is an absolute machine. Oscar Zavada, striker for Wellington Phoenix. He scored. Sydney FC lose yet again. I mean, at this point, it's a less than impressive season. You can put a line through this one. But Wellington coach Ufuk Talay.
Was that his name?
That's his name.
Ufuk Tale?
Ufuk is his first
what
name.
what a guy.
You like that one? You ever heard that one before?
Hi.
Well, you fucking do now, don't you? He said, I thank his wife Patricia for holding on another day. So his wife was about to go into labour.
Wow.
Didn't on the day of the game, meaning he could play. He scored, beat Sydney FC, and then his wife gave birth the next day. So
Wow.
congratulations.
Perfect story, really.
That
Yeah,
reminds
she just
me of-
she held it together.
Wow.
don't know if that's how it
reminds me
works,
of the. Don't want to go back to NRL, but Mitch Moses missed the birth of his child
To play.
to play in. I think it was a semi-final,
Okay, did he win?
and he won.
Oh, but that's worth it.
So it's
Yeah.
worth
Well, when
it.
you're
Probably
Mitch
lost the
Moses.
final, but
Yeah.
it's still.
In the words of Roy Keane, I remember they asked Roy Keane about one of his strikers. I can't remember who it was at the time. And they asked him about the striker for playing for Ireland. And they said, will he be playing in this international break? And he said, why? He's like, well, because he's having a baby. And he goes, is he having the baby or his wife?
Oh, here we go.
As long as he's
You know
not pregnant,
what?
he's playing. All right, and that's
I feel like this is the perfect time for me to tell the story that I've never told on Born Offside
Oh.
about
Oh.
my
Oh.
dad's cousin
What happened?
in Liverpool.
okay.
So I'm obviously a Liverpool supporter. We know this.
Right.
I thought I was just like the black sheep in my family that likes football. No one else cares about it. And then when I was about 21, so quite a few years ago, I
showing your
met
age.
my dad's cousin, Egyptian cousin,
Okay.
who moved from Egypt to Liverpool to live there because he loves the club so much.
Wow.
He moved to that city to create a life for himself.
This is before Mo Salah.
This is before Mo Salah's
Right.
time. Yeah, exactly. And he literally,
Xavi Alonso times.
he's devoted to the club. He's been a member as long as he's lived in the city, and met him, obviously, went to a game with him. It was an amazing experience. But he's also a gynecologist by trade.
Right.
So,
What is that again?
Sees a lot of vag.
yeah.
Got you.
He's
he
the
does.
doctor of vaginas.
I thought so, but I needed confirmation. I didn't know if it was vagina or the other one.
What's the other one?
Like arseholes
What's
or
the other?
something. What's that one called? You know what I'm talking about.
Back door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it a prostate or something like that? What are they called, Shabby?
You really have no idea about anatomy, hey?
Yeah, but they're called something. I know they're called something. I can't remember what they're called, but I thought
I
it was
don't
like
know.
that. But anyway,
Anyway.
that's the
A
one. See,
proctologist.
yeah.
Okay, anyway.
Whatever.
So my uncle is a gynecologist
Right.
for Liverpool Football Club, and he's delivered loads of babies of players,
Oh,
Oh, I was gonna say he's checking the players.
like the missus.
So he. Wait,
Okay.
what? So he.
That got weird for a second.
Wait, hold on a second.
Because the
So
players
he-
don't have them.
So he
No,
is the
no.
gynecologist
The female
for,
team?
for the females.
Okay, so when an international player signs with the club,
Right.
they are now part of a system, and like they get looked after in every respect. So like when Roberto Firmino moved there, with his family, he's now part of the Liverpool system.
So
He
the
gets
moment you
taken
sign
care
for
of.
Liverpool.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
So like
Schneidlin was saying
your
that as
wives
well.
are taken care of, your kids are taken care
Okay.
of.
So
That
you sign
was
for Liverpool, you
true.
introduce this man
Yeah.
to your wife. He's like the John Terry
He's like the John.
of Liverpool.
Whoa.
So like he
John Terry.
I will look after your wife.
so he delivers the babies, right?
Yeah.
So the wives will know who he is because the club will be like, they're
This is-
internationals. They don't know the doctors locally. This is our gynecologist. You can go see him.
wow.
He'll
I
deliver
So
didn't
he
the
would have the
baby.
goss.
He has seen so many Liverpool players' vaginas. I mean, their
Liverpool
wives.
players Mrs. Vaginas.
Wow.
He would know.
What a job.
I
he
know.
would know what they look like.
That is
Any
Anyway.
ham sandwiches
crazy.
floating around.
And
It's
he probably gets
fantastic.
like
It's good to know.
signatures from all the
That's
players.
Far out.
What?
Ham sandwiches.
You know what I mean?
What's a ham sandwich?
Anyway.
Let's move on. Anyway, there you go. Fun fact for
That's
you
good
all.
to know. Anyway, back to Oscar Zavala.
That's
Great
actually
goal.
sick. I like that.
Yeah, that's a great story, Kat. I don't
You're
think you've ever told me that.
Oh, well, it's hard to find a segue for a story like that. Somehow we got
True,
there.
that was very good. That was very good. Let's go back to the A-League quickly. Craig Goodwin can't stop influencing games. Goal and assist. Nestor Irankunda scored for the third straight game.
They're talking about him now.
He's
There's
so
whispers
good.
of Europe now.
Already with a lot of
So
whispers.
good.
Well, you'd think so. I mean, if all that hype happened around other players, he's
I saw
scoring every
there's an
week,
A-League, not A-League memes account, but it's an A-League like transfers account that always fucking gets me for some reason. And they tweeted out like, Man City are sending
They do like
scouts.
fake ones.
I was fucking, it fucking got me again. I was like, Man City are sending scouts to watch Irankunda.
Why
He's
do you
being
follow
tracked
them?
by, I don't, it just comes up on my timeline and I was like, oh shit, he's going. I looked at I was like, these fucking guys again, man. They got me.
They get you
They're
every
just
time.
trolling you.
Yeah.
Well, at this point, it seems like it could be realistic. It's a crazy record. I saw someone compare his record here to Erling Haaland's record in Norway at the same age. And
Oh, wow.
Nestor's actually got a better record. Better goal
Well,
scoring
because
record.
the Norwegian league is nothing crazy, right?
Fucking just shit on that cat.
Wow.
Hey,
Just
I
shit
mean,
on the Norwegian football.
Yeah, well, they produced Haaland. so-
would we,
And Odegaard. Fuck.
would you think as highly of Haaland if he had stayed in Norway?
No, well, obviously
Well,
not. Okay.
exactly my point.
Fun fact about Odegaard. Do you know he made his debut at 13 years old?
That's crazy. That's crazy. Well, Real Madrid signed him at 15, so that makes
That
sense.
is wild.
Yeah, that is.
What
Like,
were you-
can
like-
you imagine that?
Yeah.
No.
With grown men, he was playing at 13 years of age.
And he's white.
What?
He's white.
What's that got to do with
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, you're saying like he may have not been genetically developed.
Well,
as
I'm saying if you're an African player at 13, a
They're
lot
like,
of them
yeah,
can deal with the men a bit more. It's you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Odegaard was a
True.
skinny little
he
white
was
kid
skinny little white, and I was like,
and played first
That's a
grade.
good
That's
point.
insane.
That's
That's a good point.
Anyway,
Damn. Anyway. Well,
No hate to the Norwegian league, though.
no, yeah, you've just shat all over them. I hope we got no fans here listening from Norway. But Craig Goodwin did say he's trying to keep him grounded at the same time. He gives him praise when he needs it, but he grounds him when he does because he's still got a lot to work on in his game. Seems like the right kind of captain you want on your side. This was an interesting question from Oli Bamba, who always writes in to the pod on Twitter. If you were a failed wonder kid in Europe and you had to pick one of these leagues to go play in, would you play in the A-League, MLS, or the Saudi Pro League?
Failed wonder kid in Europe.
Yeah.
So
Failed
you're
wonder
supposed
kid.
to make it and you don't end up reaching the level that you're supposed to reach, so you go abroad.
A-League, MLS, or Saudi?
I'm probably going MLS.
Yeah.
I'd go MLS as well, just because
like lifestyle.
yeah. I think
you
they
know,
make a bit more money
They
there.
probably make decent money.
Probably
and,
not as-
and the
you
crowds are still fucking good in there.
You'd think probably Saudi would be maybe most cash.
True.
MLS would probably be second, but lifestyle
Yeah.
lifts it up to number one, right? Yeah.
It's interesting though if in 5 years our response would be totally different. When you look at like all of the investments Saudi's making in their football, like
I
it
reckon-
could
I
end
reckon
up
Saudi
becoming
will
somewhere
flip
that
it, but it's all. But I still reckon America in terms of like,
Well,
because
you've
I've obviously
played there.
lived there and
Yeah.
played there. I think in terms of a lifestyle and the fans knowing what's going on and like actually being passionate about
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
It's just got it ingrained in who Americans are.
Yeah.
So that's difficult. That's difficult to replicate anywhere
Yeah.
else. Do you
Yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean?
they don't have that same fight for soccer
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
we have for football here.
Yeah.
You're either a fan or you're not, but it's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
like bringing the sport down or like
Yeah.
like
It doesn't
we
feel
only
that
talk
way, does
NFL
it?
or
Yeah.
NBA. It's
Tell
not
you,
about
there's
that.
so
You're
many.
a lot more welcoming to
America have done really well, and I don't know how they done it, but Australia haven't been able to replicate it. Of every single sport has its different fans, but those
Yeah.
fans are not really competing with
No.
each other.
No, they do a
It's
great job of
weird.
like. They do a great job. If you live in a city, you support all the sports in that
Yeah.
city.
Yeah, it's like I'm thinking of Portland Timberlands, right? They've got the basketball team there and the MLS team there, and like people support both and
Yeah,
like, go to
Yeah.
both of
Exactly.
them, and
It
it's
makes
like,
sense. It's your city. You know
it's
what I
not
mean?
a-
Let
it's
alone
not a
if they-
huge deal.
No.
Oh, what the fuck? You're supporting the soccer? They don't do that. They just
No.
go. I don't know. I don't know how they done it.
It's pretty sad that doesn't happen over here. But
Yeah.
people are getting cranky over here. People are getting cranky, especially the players. 41 red cards in the A-League this season.
41.
Wow.
41.
I wanna know
How many
what-
weeks in are we?
22, 21,
Okay.
22, 20.
So
20?
like around
20?
2 a week.
Only 20?
I want to know what that is versus like the Prem and stuff, or versus like other leagues. That'd be.
Well, we're going to get to
interesting.
Premier League red cards in a second, but this is just probably, I mean, the introduction of VAR has it gone a little bit soft nonetheless. It looks like the record is going to be smashed this season. And we put out a Twitter poll, nothing to do with this, but just about the Saudis before we move on. We put out a Twitter poll, letting the Saudis buy an A-League club or invest in Australian football.
Oh,
Would you like
fucking
to
do it!
This is what I'm saying. There's been a lot of
Yeah.
backlash because
Absolutely do it. Are you mad? What's the backlash for?
there's been a lot of backlash about the Saudi was going to sponsor the Women's World Cup. So one of the
Yes.
major sponsors of the Women's World Cup was going to be Visit Saudi. Even though the World Cup's in Australia. Visit Saudi
Yeah.
was going to be a sponsor.
And how much are they pumping in?
Right, everyone kicked the stink about it, and apparently it's been removed as a sponsor, right?
fuck's sake.
You just accept cash.
No.
Bro, this is.
But you need sponsor a men's World Cup, sure, but like
Not
they're like one of the
women's.
worst places for women to live.
Right.
I
Like you
hear
can't even play football as a female in these countries, but
I
they're
hear
gonna
that,
go
but
support
but
a
I hear that, but
tournament.
1
about-
billion's gonna help somewhere. So
What if
we hear what you're saying, but money isn't.
So how would you feel? How would you feel if Visit Saudi were investing millions of dollars, which will go to helping the women's game in Australia? But
As
they
in
are,
they invest here.
yeah. So imagine them sponsoring the World Cup, and there's money that's going to help Australian women's football. However, they're promoting visiting a country which doesn't let women play. How would you feel about that?
Confused.
Moral dilemma.
It's a moral dilemma,
Well,
of course.
we all know we've had this cash talk for a long time, and like, is it morally right? The bottom line is people are accepting cash, like regardless where it comes from.
I know.
So I think at the end of the day, we say, especially when we talk about the A-League, that it doesn't have enough cash flow. Like no one's got enough money.
So we
If a
just gotta-
billionaire came in and was able to bring players in that would then attract crowds, again, like
do anything for it. Who
I
cares?
think
Who
it's
cares where
just
it's coming
the-
from?
I'm at that point that I just want to see, because I always see Para play and I see Wanderers play, and I'm like, why the fuck can't we just get the same fans? Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah.
like, I just want to see that for Wanderers and it not be a derby.
Yeah.
Well, the derby is coming up this weekend. Well, our Born Offside family seem to not care either. 69% say yes, let the Saudis invest. Who cares where
Get
the
'em in
money
there.
comes from?
In
We
the
just need
Women's World
money.
Cup or in
Just in
Australian
general,
football?
Australian football.
I'm okay with them investing in the
You
A-League.
just don't like the whole Women's World Cup
I
thing.
just think it's a global issue. Like there's when you look at the nature of women's football right now, everyone's upset about something. I'm like, it's probably not the best time to get Saudi investment.
Right.
Maybe the next Women's World Cup. Like, let's just warm everyone up.
They do what they want. They do what they want. They're hosting the Asian Winter Games. You know that? Snow, skiing in Saudi Arabia. They're creating all the snow, man-made.
Wait, what?
And they're hosting the Asian Winter Games in Saudi Arabia. They do what they want. They don't give a fuck.
Whoever works
snow.
in
They
Saudi
don't give a shit.
tourism is doing a great job.
Yeah,
though.
they don't give a shit, man.
Like,
So instead of just going to a cold place and having it,
Nah, they do it there.
wow,
Doesn't matter. It could be 40 degrees, you can ski.
they're actually running the world.
It just
When
shows.
you actually think about it,
It
they
just
actually
shows,
are.
okay.
Everything is going through them.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It is crazy. Speaking of Arab money, Melbourne City. Melbourne City, this fan tweeted. I don't know if you saw this one during the weekend, right? Now, if you're a first date with a girl,
I saw this.
I wouldn't choose a football match, eh? And I love football.
No, it depends who she is. If she's Kat Sasso, what are you doing? Anyone that knows. But she likes football.
It's true. It's
My point is, if it's Lavender or even Kat Haddad,
I forget my name.
no, I didn't forget your name. But I'm saying if it's someone that enjoys football, whereas also if it was in England, hell yeah.
Yeah?
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
fair enough.
Why did this guy take a girl?
Well, this
on
guy
a-
took his girl, but he tweeted into the Melbourne City supporters group, all 20 of them. No, he tweeted in there. He sent them a message, said, "I'm bringing a Tinder date to the game
Oh my
on
God, I
Sunday."
remember this.
And I kind of told her I'm a big deal in the active support. I'll buy you all a hot dog if you cheer when I walk in to base 17. Love you all.
That's a good request.
Right, so he's asking that he's just an average supporter, but he's
Yeah.
asking the rest of the
I
crowd
love
to treat him
this.
like he's the king of the
Oh,
active support
yeah.
in front of her. You know
That
what
is
I mean?
so, yeah, of
And
course.
it even got out to the players. You even had Scott Jamison
Yeah, I saw him tweet. He's a legend.
retweet, and he's like, "We got to find this guy and make him look like the man." So it turns out to be pretty good. You ever gone on a date to a football match? Okay.
I have to actually think about that. I've definitely, I think I have
Yeah?
at some point.
They've taken you. You've taken them.
It would be a mutual decision
Mutual
because
decision.
obviously I would want to do that.
But that'd be a good date for you.
I'd like that.
You'd like that.
Well,
Yeah.
Did he say it was a first date as well?
Yeah.
Ah, okay, first date. Yeah, it depends on the woman how much
Yeah.
they. If
I
they
have
definitely-
friends you do not take on
No.
a date like that. Like they would not be interested at all.
Yeah. Right.
But I think if a girl was to do it for me, that'd be a sick date.
That would be a good way
Do you
to
know
win
what I
you
mean? So
over.
imagine if, like, say you're in England, right? Let's just do that scenario, and a girl goes, "Oh, I want to take you to a Chelsea game." I'd be like,
They're in.
"I'm fucking wifing this girl."
They're
up.
in. Yeah.
Do you know what I
that's
mean?
true.
So
that is very true, ladies. I don't know if
Yeah.
there are many ladies listening, but if there are, take
Take
note.
note.
Write that down.
yeah,
Because that is a
it's
good way to
great,
win the
mate.
lads over. Let's go to some global news now. One of your teams. Support a few. Okay, now that I think about it. But one of your teams, Barcelona. Hot water.
Loosely.
Oh yes,
We spoke a
please.
little bit about this loosely when we first heard the rumor, but now it seems like it's gaining a lot more momentum. They look like they could be done for payments above 1.4 million euros into a company that was run by a former referee. And there's allegations saying there was over 10 years of bribing refs. Over 20 years, actually, I believe it was 94
wanna know
to
how-
2018.
How many
It's
cups
like
did
our
they win
whole
in that
lives.
time?
Yeah, it's pretty...
You still took so many L's. I don't understand. So you're paying them and you're still taking L's.
well, actually...
I
you know
want
what it
I
is?
want my payments back.
You know what it is? Sorry, you know what it is? I'll rephrase. He was referee from 94 to 2018, but these payments are allegedly between 2016 and 2018.
Okay.
So that's
Still.
like MSN era, Messi, Neymar, Suarez towards the end. You know,
okay.
you guys were winning a lot. Real Madrid have also confirmed they will join the
Of course they
Oh,
will.
shock.
the complaint
Shock.
against Barcelona.
To help bring them down.
They
some
will go
more.
to court.
They always just see, what's going over there at Barca?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let's get
Bang.
involved.
Well, that's the
They
thing.
love it.
Does
Well,
this-
they're like right up the top together, title contenders. I
Well,
mean,
we saw Juventus get done for a similar thing. They got
yeah,
relegated.
it's very Juve, isn't it?
Juve fans stuck with them. I don't really know any Juve fans that completely jump ship or anything. For you as a bit of a Barca fan,
but
does it change anything for you? If they were to get
I
proven?
honestly support them being caught out if they've done the wrong thing.
right, but you would still be a Barcelona fan.
I lived in the city.
Yeah.
I feel fondly of the city, of the country, or whatever. But like at the end of the day, if the football club's done the wrong thing, like
yeah.
set the example.
Yeah.
Someone brought up on Twitter again. I've been on Twitter too much, but I think it was the Arsenal v Barca game. Remind me what year it was, but Ian Slayman.
What was this like a
Jens
Europa
Lehmann.
It was
or
the
a
final.
Champions
It was
League
the
final?
Champions League final.
2000.
Ian Slayman
2006.
sent off, right, for a tackle outside the box, and then it was given a penalty, and everyone's saying
Did the penalty go?
was
through?
I think I'm pretty sure they scored, and obviously Barca went on to win that. But that game, Could it have been fixed?
To be fair, there was also people talking about Chelsea in 2009 with this is a disgrace.
I know people were saying that one. It's a disgrace. That one as well.
The thing is, they're saying that these payments were 2016. So as much as I love it, Chelsea fans, Arsenal fans could be clutching at straws. But
they'll be calling it on every
Exactly.
call ever made.
We can go back. We can go back in time though.
exactly, there was an interesting one from Christian Fabiano. Now,
Your cousin
I don't
is
know.
back.
Yeah, what's up?
I don't
No,
know.
I
Hold
think
on.
we're going to call
Fabiano.
him your cousin.
This guy
now.
was sledging me
Yeah.
in the DMs.
But
actually
cousins
last
would
week.
sledge
So
you.
I don't think he's my cousin. Surely people can't call Messi the GOAT if he's had the refs backing for most of his career. That's definitely not my cousin, by the way. 'Cause that's a terrible take.
Someone said Argentina are panicking as well. Maybe because the World Cup
Yeah.
and stuff.
Like,
But I don't,
what do you
I don't,
think? If this was to all come out, like, does that change anything? It doesn't change.
I don't think it
anything, does
changes anything, number one. But I do think subconsciously, right, those players that are GOATs like Messi, Ronaldo, do get a bit of leeway from
get
refs
protected.
anyway.
They get
Because
agree.
refs don't want, like, who wants to send off Messi?
yeah,
Everyone's going to know who you are. No one wants that sort of...
and no one wants them to get injured in the
Also,
game that they're
Messi
refereeing.
has rarely done things that would incite nearly being sent off.
But I
Like,
think-
he's not that kind of player.
I think it's more about like if Messi goes down, you just give him a foul.
Yeah.
I think
That happens a bit.
Probably.
That
It's the
does
same
happen a
way,
little
I
bit.
think a lot of people used to say it with Michael Jordan in the NBA. Like,
Yeah.
people used to say, like, refs used to kind of protect him.
Yeah,
You see this in every
And it's like when a ref went against him, he'd be like, oh, yeah?
yeah,
You're going against the GOAT?
yeah. I'm bigger than
You sure you want to do this?
Yeah, you want a job tomorrow?
Yeah, so it was like, I think it's, I'm not saying it's like that in football, but I'm like, I kind of get it in a sense.
yeah,
Because we want to see those players play. Every
Yeah.
fan wants to see them on the pitch and playing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no one wants to
exactly.
see them go off.
No. And Meister Rob on Twitter asked what a suitable punishment is for Barcelona. I think we'll wait and see what they're convicted of and how serious it is. But I think if it is at the level or greater than what Juventus did, then at least relegation
Yeah.
would be fair. It would be.
Far out.
You know, it
Can
would
you
be.
imagine?
Mad.
It would be mad. It would be
And
absolutely.
we're going to
mental.
talk about City as well.
Man City.
Yeah, we're going on to Man City in terms of, like, you know,
All of this.
all of that stuff that
You
was
talking
happening.
about
Yeah, that
Walker?
kind of died down, didn't it?
No, but apparently I don't know what it is. Maybe Shabs can look it up, but they imported this lawyer that's on their case now.
Oh yeah.
That, what's his name again?
We spoke about this on the pod.
Oh, okay.
If they use him all week, he costs more than Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah.
yeah. He's
He's
like the
the-
most
He's
expensive
literally
lawyer.
the
Yeah, no,
Ronaldo
He's
of lawyers.
arguably the best player on that team right
Like,
now.
Yeah,
He is him.
yeah.
So
he is
you know
him.
if they brought this guy in, like, they're getting off.
He better win that case.
They're getting off.
They're getting off.
Yeah.
They're putting Harvey Specter. They're getting off.
Well, maybe he's working on Kyle Walker's case as well. We're going to get to that in a second because he's been a
Yeah, I
bad
thought
boy.
you were talking about Kyle Walker, and he's going to need that lawyer. As
He's
well.
going to need that lawyer. Quick one. Did you see Gavi's tackle on
No,
the
I
weekend?
didn't.
No, tackled
I
with his
didn't.
head. Did you see that?
Can
Look
you
at this.
explain?
This
Can
is
you
a
show
photo
me?
of him
Oh, someone tweeted it. It was
tackling
like
with his
Oh,
head.
you know what? I did see this photo.
I don't know
from
what the fuck
yeah,
he's trying to
I
do.
saw it, but it was not from that angle.
He's a cooked unit. He's a cooked unit. That's proper body on the line stuff. Before we talk about Walker, though, there was an interesting story over in the UK. Gary Lineker was stood down by the
Yeah,
BBC.
this
Did you
is
see this
big.
one?
Yep, I saw
Making big news. Now, he tweeted
Yeah, what did
on
he
his
say?
personal account.
He always tweets though. He always tweets dumb. He tweets good shit and dumb shit at the same time.
Well, he tweeted.
Arguably, what he tweeted wasn't so
It's a political
bad.
opinion.
Yeah, it's
Whether
just
you
a-
agree or not, it's a political opinion. He's not happy with the treatment of people trying to get into the UK and some of the decisions that the government's making. It's on his personal account. But the BBC, obviously government funded, stood him down from his show.
So what did he tweet?
He tweeted about refugee.
Yeah. So he basically said that the England or
He
the
compared them?
English immigration system is very similar to like Germany in 1940s.
So he compared them to Nazi Germany.
You know, like the way that
Jesus.
Nazi Germany didn't want anyone who wasn't German. He's saying that it's very
England don't
similar.
want
Like
anyone
with
who's not.
immigration, they're not really letting refugees in. Like they don't have a very welcoming policy at the moment. And he was speaking up about that,
Right.
Fair enough.
essentially.
And you can see why people would be maybe pissed off with that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people over there quite patriotic. You can see why people would be happy.
Because
but does it
people
justify?
don't want foreigners, right? But
Yes, but does it justify him being stood down for his role on Match of the Day? Now, yes, it's a channel that's funded by the government. Everyone else backed him. What happened was that everyone else said that they wouldn't be doing their show either.
Yeah,
And
Ian Wright stood
Ian
in.
Wright.
Shearer,
Wright
I'm
stood
pretty
down.
sure
Alex
as well.
Scott as well. So Football Focus and Final Score were both cancelled because Kelly Summers, Alex Scott, no one was there to host them.
Wow.
Fighting Talk on the radio was pulled because the host didn't want to turn up. Plenty of TV shows. There was another one. BBC director apologised but insisted he wouldn't resign.
Wow.
So now this is apparently they're having an emergency meeting today
Jeez.
in the UK to figure out if he's going to be reinstated. I think they will. I think they realise how.
I think that will. No one would like anyone growing up in England, right? From as long as I can remember, Match of the Day on a Saturday night is Gary Lineker.
Yeah.
That's it.
But do
It's
you
him
think-
hosted by whoever's to his left or right.
Do you think, like, you're a public figure, right?
I'll take it.
Some would say you're a public figure. Even a good one for you, Kat, because now you're hosting shows that are on channels. Now you also have your own personal accounts.
Yeah.
Do you think they should be able to punish you for something you write on your personal account?
It's a tough one because there's always that thing around like these thoughts are my own and I'm not representing the views of the people that pay me.
Yeah.
I think the issue is how political his statement was. And I
Right.
do think there are certain instances where like it can follow you. Like the punishment can hit you because of something you said on a personal account. I'm overly cautious,
Okay.
admittedly. Like
Yeah.
I think we grew up in this environment where like, oh, nothing can be deleted.
That's why you use close friends.
Oh yeah, I use close friends.
Anyone
all the
that's
time.
not on Kat's close friends, it's wild as
Oh, okay.
fuck.
All right, relax. Don't
Literally
act,
not wild.
don't act like
Wild.
I've got an OnlyFans on my
It
close
is
friends.
mental.
She literally posts pictures of a dog.
True. No, but I am big on that because I just feel like we've grown up in that environment, right?
Yeah.
So it's not that
I feel like
surprising
I'm
to see.
more on the other side in a sense because the reason, in my sense, is like the reason why these people hired you was because of what you did before.
Yeah.
they
Is
there a
hired you.
line?
But I
you know
think
what I
that's
mean?
Is there a
where
line
we're
for you?
different.
I think there is a line. I feel like when it comes to like racism, there's obviously a line.
Oh yeah.
People you should be treated differently, or thoughts or whatever you say if it's derogatory towards a group of people. I feel like that is the line. But it also for me it's like he's working for the BBC, so the BBC have basically said, listen, we know you can have your personal opinions, but we own Match of the Day.
Yeah.
Like, shut up.
They've tried to flex there.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like, yeah, you can have your own opinions and stuff, but we own Match of the Day.
But you're getting paid from
But could
government
he
money.
also
Yeah,
just
it's
then
good,
go
right?
live stream a version of Match of the Day and get just
if
as
he
many views?
did that, people would watch it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. But the power is with,
Right.
which is what the BBC don't understand in them flexing their
Yeah.
muscles is
True.
the power.
Powers
is
with the talent.
the powers of the talent
Right.
these days.
This is what we're seeing in football in general. The
Yeah.
players, talent, pundits, whatever you want to call it, they're showing that they have that leverage.
have
They
the
have the
power.
pull.
Yeah.
And look, it's BBC. It's government funded. Like you have to. There's always going to be like conditions around what you can say and things like that. But I don't know. I kind of like that he stood up for something that is important and used his voice. And then he's got people in every corner of the globe talking about it now.
Yep. It'll be interesting to see what they do.
Sticking with a bit of UK news, Man United had to settle for a draw to Southampton. 0-0 draw. Casemiro, another red card. He's out for 4 games.
That's
Did you see the red, Ola?
I saw it and I was thinking about it because
He was unlucky.
he was a bit unlucky, but I don't know his record in terms of with Madrid, but he hadn't been sent off in a La Liga game for like, what was it, like 20 to 30? It was like a whole season or whatever.
More, mate, apparently.
5 seasons?
500 games. So that's what Ten Hag came out and said afterwards. He said, hasn't been red carded in 500 games, but since coming to the Prem, he's already received 2.
What does that tell you
Is
about
the Prem soft?
I think what it is with the Prem also is at Madrid, so he was probably favoured a bit more at Madrid. Like they're not.
It goes back to what you were saying earlier, right? Like
And I also think that you can't get away with anything. That you just can't get away with shit.
But he's also the speed that the game is played at. And the ball's pinballing around more in the Prem.
Because
and
I looked at
Yeah.
even the challenge. So he slides right,
He
and
wins the ball.
I've done that slide tackle before, where
Yeah.
you go through the ball, right, and your leg has
roll
to
off
be
it.
your leg has to be up.
Yeah.
You can't put, if his leg's down in that situation, which is what they're talking about, height that's raised. If his leg's down, he doesn't get the ball in that situation.
Exactly.
You can't win
You've got
it.
to lift your foot to
You
get
have
the
to
ball.
lift the foot to win the
Yeah,
ball.
yeah.
So it's like, I don't know how you're supposed
very
to
tough.
slide.
Yeah, it's very
You
tough.
just can't slide nowadays.
Yeah, exactly. And with VAR, you can't get away with it because they're going to pick that frame after you've won the ball. When you land on the guy's shin, it's pretty black and white. He's
no
been
one
sent.
ever looks good with VAR.
No, exactly.
Slow-mo,
It's
everything
not.
looks worse.
Nothing in slow mo looks good.
It's like a low angle photo, right?
Yeah.
It's very hard to get it right.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Interesting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What?
A low-angled
Do
photo.
you like people take photos of you at a low angle?
Absolutely
what? Like,
not.
what do you mean?
No?
Like down here?
Yeah, like a photo like that.
Oh, yeah, it's true. Yeah.
No?
Yeah, no,
You
yeah.
get a couple chins in there.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, not. I'm not for the chin photos.
No. Tell you who was looking half decent. I don't know. It depends on who you
Good
ask.
segue there, Claudes.
Arsenal, right? We're playing, and Mick Jagger rocked up.
Oh, did he? Still
He
alive?
would, eh? He would.
He's still going.
Still with us.
Somehow, right? He's hanging in there. Mick Jagger was in the crowd. He wore a hat that had just the word DILF on it.
Oh, really?
Right?
I don't know if I'd label him.
I think
a
he's
Dilf.
past Dilf right now.
He's
Gilf.
he's aging.
Yeah.
He's still got the long hair. Would you classify him a dilf?
Absolutely not.
No, not your type.
Not my type.
We spoke
I mean,
about
we've
it's all
talked
about-
about
it's
my
we
all
spoke
type
about
before.
Cat's type on the pod last week. I think you weren't here for that one.
Yeah,
we spoke a little bit
what
about
was
Cat's
it?
type.
What was
It's
You
that?
not Mick Jagger, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, you know Cat's type, right?
Yeah.
If they look like they've been to prison,
I wouldn't say.
do you know what I mean?
What the?
She's a fan.
Wow.
Do you know what
Kat,
I mean?
you gonna
Oh
take
my
that?
God.
No, but not in a bad way.
Mum, turn it off.
It's not wrong. See what
I
I mean?
like a bit of a bad boy
Yeah,
aesthetic,
ooh.
all
Yeah,
right?
everyone says they
Doesn't
like a
mean
bad-
I want them to be
Everyone
bad
likes
boy.
bad boy until
Oh, bad boy aesthetic. Okay.
Yeah.
Aesthetic.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Anyway,
Spaniard. What?
No, we're not. We're not
Tattoo on
doing
the
that.
forehead.
We're not doing that.
you like that?
I don't want
I like
Spaniard,
Spaniard.
Yeah.
or
Anyway.
anything too close to
Speaking of, let's stop the politics for now because he's been quite political as well. Let's go to someone who can't stop scoring. Sam Kerr scored again. Chelsea's
So
1-0
good.
win over Manchester United. They go to top of the league.
that. Top of the league. And did you see that she was announced as the most influential woman in sport?
Jeez.
In Australia.
No.
Yeah.
In
Australia?
Australia.
Yeah, yeah.
in the
Well,
world.
Australia.
Sydney Morning Herald announced it, and there were a few
Right.
other.
That's pretty fair. I mean, I'm trying to think who's probably more
It would be
influential.
Ash Barty if she didn't retire,
Yeah, that's right.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
Why did she retire early?
Just
Well, she
had enough.
probably wants to have a kid.
Mm.
Oh, really?
She's been married a couple of years. She's younger than, I think she was 26 or something.
That is
But
wild.
Yeah.
when you think what
She
she's
looks
done,
older, eh?
She does look a bit older.
Yeah.
But maybe like, yeah, I don't know anyway.
Yeah. What are you laughing at?
No, nothing.
No?
Nothing. Yeah, she does look
it's
a bit
not
older.
nothing, is it?
No, it's fine.
Do you know your type?
Oh, no. She's not my type at all.
No.
She's Claude's type.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't know about that. Let's go to the championship. Burnley have informed fans out of nowhere that they've been placed under an immediate transfer ban by the EFL.
What have they done?
I haven't even seen the issues, but apparently it's quite disappointing news because they look like they're going to get promoted to the Premier League. So that's usually where you got to buy players and
Yeah.
reinforce.
So they go in and they can't make any changes.
It looks like they can't make any changes. I'm not sure on the latest news on that. As that pops up, we'll keep you posted on the pod. Another thing that happened in the championship, they're
Tell
playing
me.
for the playoff positions. Norwich versus Sunderland. Did you see the little smooch?
No, what happened
Little
there?
kiss?
Little kissy kiss.
Did you see the kiss?
I heard about a little kissy kiss.
Right, so
Between who and who?
Norwich were playing Sunderland, right? And there was
Yeah.
this moment between two players of the opposing teams. There was a bit of a fight that happened on the sidelines, right? A bit of a fight. And then there's a bit of a push and shove. And then and then the Sunderland player kisses the Norwich
What
player.
the
And then he
fuck?
grabs his throat.
And then did he
Which-
try and kiss him again?
Wait,
Well,
look,
after he
kiss,
kissed him?
and then look at this one, Cat.
That's
Then he
assault.
grabs his throat, which to some people, we've spoken about this, it may look like he's trying to fight him.
Yeah, he's not.
He may look like he's also trying something else.
Yeah.
Because
That's
as we spoke about,
Yeah.
throat
Make
grab
love, not
Either
war,
way.
as they say.
Throat grab.
can go either way.
That's disgusting. I mean, each to their own.
Each to their own, right? Cat, kissing an opposition to just throw him way off. Onside or offside?
I mean, great distraction.
yeah.
It's up there.
actually,
It's
it's
up
good.
there.
No, but like, say like the ball's in play, I
Yeah.
get it. Do you know what I mean? Because I've grabbed a couple balls
Yeah.
from time to time.
I had this conversation,
Yeah.
right? I was having this conversation with an A-League
Always.
women's
No, it's
player.
like a little tap.
Yeah. So I was having this conversation with an
You guys
A-League
don't do
women's
that
player
though, do
today,
you?
right?
We don't have balls.
And obviously,
on.
there's more openly homosexual people in the women's game than there is in the men's
Yeah.
game. And I was having this conversation with a professional, like female player, and I was like, because this happened, and I'm like, this happens so much in the men's game, shit like that. Like even
Yeah.
my game on the weekend, there's little things that happen, there's little things you say to just
Yeah.
throw a player off,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Whereas does it happen in the women's game? Because you think apparently not really.
Not at the levels that I've played, but I'd love to know if when you do get to those professional leagues where like
Yeah.
they've all played with each other, they all know each other.
They play with each other.
You
They've all played
got to
each
choose your vocabulary better.
They've all played
Cat?
with each other.
My vocabulary better.
Yeah.
Sorry guys. Let me rephrase.
Okay.
They've been in the same team before.
Okay. Yeah.
Are you gonna also take that out of context?
No.
Okay, cool. All on is
I hear it.
I've lost my train of thought.
But
Well, yeah. No, I know what you're trying to
I
say.
hear, yeah, I hear what you're
I
saying.
don't know. You've like put me in a
No,
corner
we always
today.
we
I'm
always
like,
do it to you. But I feel like just as like we just do stuff that
There's stuff like that. Yeah.
just like cheeky stuff. But
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
think
yeah.
it
I don't
happens.
feel
in
like
the,
it
in the women's
happens.
game now.
Yeah.
it's not happened to me, thank God.
I've seen like a little hair pull and stuff, but that's
Oh
just,
yeah,
like,
yeah. Hair pulls
aggressive.
happen, like nails.
Yeah.
Stop, guys! You're turning me on. Let's move on to let's move on to a guy that was a little too turned on at the wrong time as well. Kyle Walker, he's in the news again now. He's a little bad boy, Kyle Walker,
Yeah.
bad man.
Not the type I'd go for the record.
Really?
No, I wouldn't.
I reckon
go
if
for
he
Kyle
was a
Walker.
foot taller, you would. Do you know what I mean?
I wouldn't go for Kyle
Height doesn't
Walker.
matter when he's got that much money. I'm going to tell you that now.
Yeah, you could be 4
Even
foot
you'd
tall
go
with
there,
that
eh?
cash.
Height doesn't matter when they're like, you know.
Because
He
I know
does.
you like a
Girls don't
tall
give a
man.
shit.
I like a tall man.
But
Yeah,
what,
but you
what
don't-
about a 5'9" millionaire?
You don't care.
'cause I'll
Okay,
I
Kevin
can
Hart.
find a
Do you find
6
Kevin
foot
Hart
millionaire.
attractive?
No.
If Kevin Hart walked in,
No,
you would
I
never
don't
go on a
find-
date with Kevin Hart.
No, I don't find he's funny. I'd like want to hang out as friends.
You would never go on a date with him.
I'm not attracted to
Okay,
Kevin
who
Hart.
else? Who
Hold on.
else? Give me someone else short.
Who are the short kings? Leo DiCaprio is pretty short, isn't he?
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland's
Oh,
short.
I love Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Okay, would you go on a date with Tom
Probably
Holland?
not.
Yeah, Tom Holland's not her type, but
Not my type.
Tom Holland's not her type.
Tom Holland's
trying to
like
think of someone,
straight to the friend
Shabs.
zone.
Okay, Tom Holland with tats, yeah.
Stop this.
See, tats are
No,
a
I
cheat.
did not say yes.
Tats are a cheat code.
What? Because he's got a couple of tattoos.
No.
See,
I-
Kat will
It's
say no.
attractive. That's
Kat-
so stupid.
Kat will say no, and then the same person will walk through the door with a couple tats, and Kat will say yes.
That's not true.
It's incredible.
I don't know why they're framing me like this.
Anyway,
We need a cat intervention. That's what we
you need help. You need help. Anyway, Kyle Walker, who apparently you would not go for, right? Fair
No.
enough. You're probably a good idea because during COVID he got in trouble because
Yeah.
he, I think he had a party with some
Oh,
escorts,
yeah.
right? To be fair, not much to do during COVID, so I
Fair.
kind of gave him the benefit of the doubt for that one. Because he's got money and why not?
You don't have to justify it.
Do you know what I mean? Why not spend it on some high quality? But then this time, this is just I can't justify him anymore. I can't help him. He's in my fantasy team. I kept him in for now, but I'm considering getting rid of him because he walks into a bar and there's CCTV footage of this. He's
There's
hanging
quite
out.
a lot of footage of
There's
this.
a lot of footage of it, right? He's hanging out in a bar and he flopped his dick out twice throughout the evening. Just standing there at a table with people.
Yeah.
He flops it out. Then I think he flops it out again at the bar.
I just,
Is it ever okay to take your dick out in public?
personally, I just think there's something in the water in Manchester. That's my. I've
It's
come
all
to
coming
that.
from
I've
Manchester.
come to that like consensus because it's just like what is wrong with them?
City and United, both
Like
of
you
them.
see Grealish doing weird shit. You see, obviously we've got the Mendy, we've got
Mendy.
the now we've got Kyle Walker, we've got
Old mate
We've
Greenwood.
got some,
Greenwood,
yeah,
like-
names we try not to say.
Adam Johnson. Like
Johnson
what
Manchester.
is,
Well, yeah, he was at Manchester.
what is going on in Manchester, bro? You need
Yeah.
to sort it out. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Something in the water there.
Must be the weather. They don't see enough sunlight.
True.
It's just fucking, they go
You
insane.
go lack of vitamin D. Go a
Too
bit
much money,
crazy.
not enough vitamin
Too much
D.
money. Yeah, I don't know, but it's never okay to do that.
No.
I don't think I've ever done it. I've done it in front of men, like in a group of guys.
I love it. I love how you confirmed. I don't
love
think
how
I've ever
you're
done
like,
Not in public, bro.
it. No, in public.
Nah.
No, just in front of the
That's what
boys.
Yeah, in front of the boys, you know. Changing room shower.
Just flip it
Yeah,
out.
well,
You know what I
you
mean?
know.
Little
I know
turkey slap.
I
Doesn't
know
hurt
you
anyone.
do that.
Yeah,
You
a little
would so do
helicopter.
that.
I would do what?
You'd
know.
so do that.
Do what?
Like,
In
that's
public.
Take my dick out of the bar?
What the
What
fuck?
the fuck?
That's cancellation.
Why have I
Well,
done
I'm
that?
speaking the change room.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Well, how else are you going to shower? You got to take a dick out the shower.
Okay, anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, I would never take my penis out of a fucking public place.
That's not what I said.
Terrible. Anyway, it's a private issue. Well, apparently not. But that's what Pep Guardiola said. It's a private issue. We'll sort it out internally. This is not the place to speak about private situations. It's also not the place to take a
Fair.
dick out in a press conference.
Fair call, Pep.
But Pep Guardiola did. He's going to have.
He did what?
He didn't take his dick out. No. He metaphorically took it out and
Yeah.
won yet another game in the Prem and is chasing Arsenal. But yeah, so we'll see what happens there. Actually, their former wingback, who I bet he wish he kept him right now, Joao Cancelo, had a great game for
He
Bayern
did.
Munich.
Yeah, but I
on the
heard he was
weekend.
having some problems at Bayern Munich.
He
as
wasn't
well.
playing, but then he started on the weekend, scored, set up another one.
Gorgeous.
All the wingbacks scored. Alphonso Davies scored.
Yeah.
Benjamin Pavard scored a double.
It's good. It's nice signs when you see a team doing that.
Yeah, when the
Yeah.
wingbacks, everyone on the pitch is scoring. Let's go to a former Bayern player, Lewandowski. This was very nice. This was cool. Right, so Barcelona, obviously when you're a professional athlete, you're going to be subject to a lot of hate online. I mean, we're subject to a lot of hate. We're not even professional athletes.
Yeah, especially after this episode.
Well, yeah, hopefully. I enjoy it. I enjoy reading the mean tweets. But they are worse and they are just slightly different. They have a different tone when it's a female. And we've spoken about this. Like, we cop shit, but Kat will cop a different type of shit,
Yeah,
right?
I agree.
And it's almost like it's more personal. It's more to
Personal
do
as
with
fuck,
you. Whereas
yeah.
ours is more like, you don't know shit.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, whatever, bro. You know, yours is more
Yeah.
personal. And Barcelona put out a video where Lewandowski sat down and read all the messages and tweets to the female players of Barcelona. And he read them out loud. Right, and he read everything from getting back in the kitchen to women's football is not real football, and his reactions to it was quite raw, and he
Wow.
got really upset, and he said that this is really hard for me to read and hear. So it was just a really touching moment.
I like that they did it
Yeah.
in that way.
So was it like? Why did he do it? Or was it just like?
Barcelona just set it up. It was just I guess a bit of
Oh, like
a thing for
oh,
all their
like-
fans.
I guess
Oh,
it's
okay.
good to also remind you that they're one team essentially.
Yes.
Like the men will support the women.
Yeah.
And if you're saying that kind of thing about the Barcelona women, why not have a male read it out?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because there are some idiots
him
out
as
there.
well.
There'd be some idiots out there that have no respect for the women's team, but have a lot of respect for Lewandowski.
Yeah.
So by seeing Lewandowski condemn them,
Yeah.
it might change.
I like that a
100%
lot.
it would have an effect.
You know.
100%.
It's the whole idea of advocacy and like the women's game can't grow without the men
Exactly.
backing them.
Yeah. So that was very nice to see. Credit to you guys over at Barcelona. You might not be doing right things in your finances,
The social media team, however,
but I like that. That is nice. And their women's team are fucking crazy strong as well.
They're so
smashing
good.
everyone
they're
in the
so
league.
good.
Let's talk some Champions League because it's the last couple games before we move to the quarterfinals. Chelsea got the job done last week. Crispy04 said, "Can the Chelsea lads on the couch remind Kat
Oh,
whose
stop
team
it,
is in the
Crispy.
quarters and whose team looks like they're about to not be? You're not out yet, Kat.
Yeah, but it's a bit scary, isn't it?
3-0 at the Bernabeu and you get extra time.
Good luck. Good luck to
Yeah.
you. We spoke about Madrid in Champions League, so good luck.
Yeah. Are you like gonna watch that game or are you just gonna sleep through it?
Oh, it's a tough one.
Yeah.
I should watch it. I actually genuinely, I do love watching Real Madrid play Champions League when it's not against us.
It's not
They're such a fun team to watch.
Yeah.
But far out. Like
Yeah.
I go in and I just feel like we're gonna lose.
Yeah, but you got nothing to lose, and sometimes people are scary when they've got
True.
nothing to lose. You
True.
just don't know what they're
We've
going
done it before. We can
I'll
do
tell
it
you
again.
what, if you score in the first 15, 20 minutes of that game, it'll be an interesting game. Can you
Ooh,
imagine
yeah.
it's 2-0 half time?
Early game.
Can you imagine that?
Yep.
I've seen that happen before.
Early goal.
Yeah.
You guys.
Yeah, we've had early goals against Real Madrid before though, and it didn't work out. So.
Yeah, that's true. Well, let's watch this space. Set the bar low, and then you never know.
Yeah.
AC
My bar's always pretty low.
yeah?
Yeah.
Here you go. Any guys listening to the pod, shoot your shot. The bar's
super
low.
guys. It's super low.
The bar is low.
Yeah.
Shoot your shot in Cat's DMs. AC Milan.
Maybe we should read out like funny tweets from Cat's DMs.
Yeah, you're welcome to do that.
That would be a funny one. Anyway.
You cop a lot from football fans trying to take you out.
I'm not trying to take me out.
No,
but
just want to chat.
messaging me. Yeah,
That's fine.
Oh.
yeah.
You're
It's
a football
fine.
personality.
It's a bit interesting sometimes.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it'd be very annoying.
What about football? You get a couple of footballers, though.
There's a few, but
There are a few. Like, we're talking top level or like...
we're not. I mean, we're not talking about the Prem, are we?
No?
No.
Okay.
Open to it. Yeah,
What do you mean you're open to it?
open to like a Premier League player.
Oh, okay.
But not other levels.
No,
See
no.
what I mean?
So if a
Oh,
Premier
See what I mean?
So if a
Alright.
pre-
See,
yeah.
you're
wait,
so
hold
like-
on. So if a Premier League player,
What's
so
wrong
if a
with an
Premier League
player?
player
I
slid
didn't
in your
say there
DMs,
is.
Premier League player slid in your DMs was like, listen, I
I'll
really
fly you
like you. I'll fly you out to England. I love
I'd
what
be
you're
like,
doing.
I'm so sorry, but I'm really busy with my own career.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that.
I
I
like
like
that.
that
Yeah.
response.
Okay.
He has a family. I'm not a home wrecker.
No. For those of you who didn't hear that, producer Shabs just asked, what if it was Verge? AC Milan did the job against Spurs. Onside or offside from Raddy Roller. Harry Kane will never win a trophy if he stays at Spurs.
Ooh.
Is that onside or offside, Alan?
It is weird because like Harry Kane is literally one of the best strikers in the world, and I think could be one of, I dare say, of our generation in terms of the impact that he's had, the goals he scored, all of that sort of stuff. But we don't even like, no one puts him up there.
Yeah, but does that show
We
that...
just miss it. We just go, oh yeah, just Harry Kane scored another goal.
Does that show that if you got the best striker, like the best striker in the world, even the best striker in the world, I'm not saying he is, but he might be. The best striker in the world isn't even enough to win a trophy. You need a full team.
Yeah, it's tough. But also, I think the reason why people also don't rate Harry Kane as high as, let's say, a Drogba, right? Because in the dying moments when Tottenham were in a position where they could have won something,
Yeah.
he didn't really
hasn't.
deliver.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like as a top striker.
Yeah.
That's what they judge you by. The Drogba. We all remember the Drogba goals.
Yeah.
That's what
I
they're
remember.
It was
judged
his
by.
playground, yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's what it is with Harry Kane.
Yeah. I think so. Well, I mean, he didn't do it in the Champions League. He has had cup finals to do it. He's had Champions League finals to do it.
He's had
and he hasn't done it.
opportunities.
So
He
let's
hasn't
see.
stepped up.
There are some rumours going around. I mean, Conte looks done. Like, he'll leave.
Did
Yeah.
you hear Did you
You
see the
think
whole
Pochettino back?
Conte and Richardson thing?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really funny.
Yeah, that is pretty funny. Richarlison's clearly not happy. Conte will go. There's chat that Pochettino's going to go back. There was also a link I read during the week with Ange Postecoglou.
I heard about this also.
Now, wouldn't that be a good club for Ange? Imagine going there.
It would
You
be.
can't say the players aren't there. They're there.
Yeah.
Spurs have a
Yeah.
great bunch of players. If
That'd
Ange
be
goes in
good.
there, and can you imagine?
Do you think he's ready for the Premier League?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's ready for a club like Tottenham though. Tottenham is a big London club that like
Yeah.
has history and the fans and everyone.
You think they won't give him as much time?
Oh, they will. I don't know if I'm talking about the board, but I'm saying the fans won't. He will have to do a lot of work.
They're not going to think fondly of him going into that role as like the Australian public does, or those who know who Ange is.
But you think
He's
they'll
done
welcome
with Celtic.
Poch with arms wide open back?
I heard that players and like people, staff within the club were basically petitioning or to some extent for Poch to come back and
have another
like,
crack.
They want him back.
Yeah, well, he's been quiet. Hasn't really done much for a while. So let's see. That'd be very interesting. But there are some Champions League games left this week. Porto take on Inter back at the Dragão. They're down 1-0. Don't write off a Portuguese club. That's one thing you need to learn in the Champions League. Man City, Leipzig 1-1. They go back to Manchester now. You think City get no one done, or is there a chance of an upset here?
I still believe in the curse that Yaya Touré's agent set against Pep. So
anything could happen. They could be out.
Anything to do with City and the Champions League, I'm just like...
You're not shocked. They could lose this game
It's
at
so
home.
wild.
Yeah. Napoli-Frankfurt, it'd be an absolute catastrophe. Napoli are up 2-0 and coming back home, so you'd think they'd go through here. They are flying at the moment.
Napoli are actually unreal, man.
Very good. Very, very good.
Would you say best team in Europe right now?
It's hard to argue with it. It's definitely hard to argue with it because they're so far in front and they're about to make the Champions League quarterfinals comfortably. And
do you
Real
think
Madrid,
even... Sorry. I want your opinions. Do you think even without... Say if Juve hadn't dropped all those points, like, do you think that the title race would be tighter? Or do you think that Napoli, the way that they're playing, it's kind of like a guaranteed win to some extent?
They'd still be over 10 points clear. I think they'd still be about 12-ish points clear of Juventus if Juventus had all those points. So they're
crazy.
They're clearly the best team in Italy, and they bounce back anytime they have I guess an upset. And it's just a brilliant story. It just shows you can sell the big names and you can buy players for cheap if you've got the right scouting. And you can back a manager that historically hasn't won anything.
What's the winger's name again? I always forget his name.
Kvara?
Yeah, is it that one?
Yeah, he's a freak.
He's such a testament to good scouting, isn't it?
Yeah.
These players you've never heard of before.
What'd I say?
I know.
What'd I say?
It.
No, what did you say?
Do you remember what I said?
You said something that is true, but I can't remember the exact...
Wait, did you predict how good he was going to be?
That we can find.
Did he actually?
I remember when you introduced him to us, and you're like, "There's this Georgian player."
Is that the guy? Is that the guy?
Yeah.
That's the guy,
Fuck
and
off,
we've never heard of him before.
That's the guy.
Claudes knows ball.
No, well, apparently not. According to TikTok comments, Twitter, all these other fuckwits, I don't know.
I watched this guy play, and I don't know. He reminds me of like the way he dribbles. It's almost like a Kaká style dribbling in terms of like it looks unorthodox and messy, but nobody gets the fucking
But
ball.
it's calculated.
He's unreal. I'll be interested to see what his market value is now.
So I watched him play a friendly match when he was going to Napoli, and I thought first thing I said was, I think he can win a Ballon d'Or one day.
Fuck.
And I still stand by that because he's so
No,
raw and he's so good and he does things that you don't expect him. He'll shoot out of nowhere. He'll make mistakes because of it, but he's so entertaining to watch. So let's see what happens. They got him for 10 million. I'd say his value already in less than a year's times by 10. You'd say it's 100 million. And he plays for Georgia. And Georgia got promoted in the Nations League. So he got them up out of like a tricky group.
Wild.
Yeah, so obviously he's doing great things. Last thing to close out the pod. It's a big week of football. We do have a second pod as always. We're going to have a second pod, which is going to be plenty of fun, a bit of two truths and a lie. Make sure you join us for that one later in the week. But the last question, 11 Bunchy. Last week we had a weird question. I can't remember what it was. Something weird.
When did we
soup.
not?
It was about eating or drinking soup.
Yeah.
Do you remember that one? This week, 11 Bunchies jumped in. If we have fingertips, but not toe tips, how can we tip toe, but not tip finger?
Wait, what? Tiptoe.
We have fingertips.
Because we stand on our feet. That's why we can tiptoe. We don't stand on our fingers.
Right.
That's why.
So do you think if you did a handstand and you moved up onto your fingertips, would you be tip fingering?
Yes.
Yeah?
But that's like impossible.
It's very hard to do. Yeah, very hard to do.
That's why it's tiptoe.
Okay. That's fair. I mean,
Makes sense, right?
You said it.
That makes sense. There you go, Bunchy, mate. It was a good question.
Great
but
question.
Olan just completely myth-busted you right
100%.
there.
He killed that.
There you go. He shot it down and just lay off the trees, brother.
And I also just think there's no need to worry about stuff like that.
No? There's enough to worry about in the world?
Yeah.
Yeah? Stuff keeping you up at night, Kat. We'll talk about that after. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for joining us here on Born Offside for another hectic week. Make sure you keep an eye out because we do have a special episode dropping later in the week. A couple big guests lined up as well. So make sure you subscribe to the pod. Flick us a 5-star if you're having a good time. Follow us on all our socials and we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
See ya.